Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies just got some brand new teasers today, and we finally get our first official look at the new Gobblegum machine. Alright, so this morning, the ARG website called The Truth Dies just got updated with two brand new videos. Well, in the first one, they show us a whole slew of declassified documents, so I'm going to show you the video real fast, and then I'm going to help you go over what we see.
The CIA has declassified top secret documents. More on that later.
Alright, so without boring you guys too much, essentially what these papers are saying is that the director, or Eddie Richtofen, has chosen a specific person named Ernst Duffer to interrogate the 4 characters that are locked up on Terminus Island. In fact, the first paper we see names Weaver as one of the subjects. These papers then go on to document that evidently Weaver thinks that he's entirely responsible for getting everybody locked up inside the prison. On top of this, it also says that they think it is a very good idea to then exploit this weakness. This paper then goes on to say that Weaver is basically the anchor of the entire group, and in order to break this anchor, they had to isolate him. On top of all of this, Eddie evidently wants him specifically to suffer more than everybody else. And then the final thing documented is that evidently Weaver is broken, bitter, and easily manipulated as a result. Next up, we see the files for Dr. Gray, which is a character we know survived because we see her much older in the Modern Warfare Zombies storyline. However, the files here say that basically she is extremely disrespectful but has a very strong will, but they believe this to be a facade based on holding cell footage, evidently showing that that's a lie. Now next, however, it says that she does speak a lot about believing that somebody is coming to save her. This I do believe is our new 4th character, Maya, who at this time I do believe is nowhere near the island. Alright, so the last thing said about Dr. Gray is that she evidently has no more concern for her own safety or well-being, going so far as to say that eventually she stops believing that anybody is even coming to rescue them. Alright, next up we have the files for Carver. Evidently Carver himself is also trained in interrogation tactics, making Duffer's job extremely hard. It is then documented how he needs to be the first one to break, as he is the sort of moral linchpin of the entire group, and if he falls, they all fall. Next up, we see that Carver has basically entirely shut down and is unresponsive to the interrogation techniques. He is extremely careful to conserve energy, and he's also been keeping himself in check by running exercises with his fellow inmates, which is making them consider isolating him. Alright, and the last page we see is for Dr. Strauss. However, this one moves by very fast, and we only really get snippets of the words. However, what I can make out is something about his moral standing. The welfare of his teammates seems to be of importance to him. His grip on reality seems to be slipping considerably, and evidently the fact that he's adept at misdirection and everybody needs to be cautious around him. Alright, so that is all on the backstory teasers. Now, however, let's get on to what everybody is here for, the first look at the official Gobblegum machines coming to Black Ops 6 Zombies.
Order your Sounds for Love 2 CD set now. Enjoy all the best tracks, like My Heart Beats Only for Them.
Have you heard of Mr. Pigs? He is here to feed you all, give you candy from his bowl. Chew, 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 until you die.
Alright, there you guys have it. No longer is Dr. Monty the maker of the Gobblegum, now it is evidently Mr. Peaks. Now, of course, during this animation, we saw a few Gobblegums, namely the Perkaholic one front and center, which, if you aren't aware, this basically gives you all the perks in the game as soon as you eat the Gobblegum. Alright, then we can see profit sharing, which basically shares a portion of your points earned with your teammates. Then we can see stock option. This works like the mag of holding in Modern Warfare Zombies. It basically feeds ammo from your stock instead of your magazine. Then, of course, we have some max ammo drops. And finally, we have what I think is wall power, which essentially just gives you 1 free pack-a-punched wall buy. Now, what all this sort of looks like to me is more proof that Black Ops 6 Zombies' big bad is most likely going to be Samantha Maxis. Why else would things return from the old world that Samantha was a part of, but just with a new face this time? So clearly Dr. Monty is gone, but the gums are still back. So to me, it would make sense to be Samantha's doing. And what better way to do it than have the mascot be your old favorite childhood bunny rabbit? I think that Samantha Maxis is either completely corrupted by the Dark Ether or has at least taken control of the Dark Ether, similar to how the Forsaken did in Cold War. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if at some point during Black Ops 6's storyline, we have to then work with the Forsaken to take out the big bad of Black Ops 6 Zombies, whether it be Samantha or not. Because if you remember, in Cold War, we ended with capturing the Forsaken, and we didn't eliminate him. So, food for thought. But that is enough for me on this one. If you thought this video was helpful or informative, please drop down and hit that little heart down there. Otherwise, don't forget to drop a follow so you stay up to date on all things related to Call of Duty Zombies. And if you made it this far, drop down in the comments and let me know who your favorite Zombies character is across the entirety of the timeline. Otherwise, try to stay cool, try to stay happy, and I'll see you guys around.
Have you heard of Mr.